is at the root of all these efforts. I am confident that this group will come out with an inclusive, action-oriented and future-ready education agenda. This would benefit the whole world in the true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. One earth, one family, one future. I wish you all a productive and successful meeting. Thank you.
You are watching India Today.
While some of the drivers and conductors of Haryana roadways are infamous for their arrogance, Sukhbir Chotiwala is a pleasant aberration. Sukhbir, who hails from Rithal village of Rohtak, works as an operator of Haryana roadways. Working since 2017, Sukhbir makes sure his passengers are comfortable. In the scorching heat, Sukhbir serves water to all the passengers from his salary.
मेरी ड्यूटी जयपुर रूट पे लगी थी, सोनीपत से जयपुर। तो उस टाइम बहुत गर्मी थी, तो मैंने वहाँ देखा सवारी बच्चे पानी के लिए गर्मी में बहुत बुरा हाल था जी। तो मैंने सोचा ड्यूटी के साथ साथ क्यों ना थोड़ा ये धर्म पुण्य का काम भी हो जाए। और उसी दिन से आते मैंने 4 कैंपर खरीदे और अगले दिन मैं कैंपर ही लेके गया रूट पे और ये जल की सेवा फिर वहीं से शुरू की जी।
Sukhbir's selfless act has impressed Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, who praised Sukhbir in a tweet and invited him to Chandigarh to felicitate him. No wonder Sukhbir's bus is a favorite among passengers amid the prevailing heat wave condition. Bureau Report, India Today.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 41 and minimum 29 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 31 and minimum 28 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 36 and minimum 28 degrees. Bengaluru, maximum 28 and minimum 22 degrees. Chennai, maximum 32 and minimum 27 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 33 and minimum 23 degrees.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 41 and minimum 29 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 31 and minimum 28 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 36 and minimum 28 degrees. Bengaluru, maximum 28 and minimum 22 degrees. Chennai, maximum 32 and minimum 27 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 33 and minimum 23 degrees.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mo.
Kerala's public health, all political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political black.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Welcome back. Ahead of the mega dinner, Prime Minister Modi met with tech czars in Washington, D.C. During the second leg of his U.S. visit, Prime Minister Modi met Sanjay Mehrotra, President CEO of Micron Technology. He also met H. Lawrence Culp Jr., Chairman and CEO of General Electric and CEO of General Electric Aerospace. GE Aerospace, in fact, has big plans to ramp up its India operations. After meeting with Prime Minister Modi, Gary E. Dickerson, the President and CEO of Applied Materials, expressed his belief that it is India's time to drive remarkable growth and shine. Earlier, Prime Minister met Tesla chief Elon Musk, astrophysicist, author and science communicator Neil deGrasse Tyson, Nobel laureate Paul Romer and investor Ray Dalio.
We will be announcing soon a new innovation center in India. With Applied Materials, we'll also bring global partners into this new innovation center. And this innovation center will really be focused on innovation in the equipment. And we have very high confidence that working together with India, we can create a tremendous success.
Had an excellent meeting with Prime Minister Modi. Very impressed with the vision that he has for India and the advances that India is making. We discussed a wide range of topics, and we really look forward to greater opportunities in India. Micron is a global leader in memory and storage, and we are a supplier to for memory and storage in all end markets, from data centers to smartphones to PCs, and today really fueling the AI engine as well. So we are excited about the opportunities that exist for the future of memory and storage.
Is why a state visit so late in the day when it comes to the tenures of President Biden and Prime Minister Modi, or it's never too late?
I mean, I think there's several factors at play here. One is that the relationship has enjoyed exponential growth for the last few decades, but I would argue that the last year or so, and especially the last few months, have enjoyed particular amounts of growth. We've seen a number of new areas for cooperation: tech, clean energy, higher education. And so I think that the goal for the administration, the Biden administration, and for the Indian government is to showcase just how much this relationship has not only grown on the whole, but become more multifaceted.
And that's a wrap on this edition. Stay tuned. News and updates will continue on the other side of this break.
DG payments at petrol pumps have fallen significantly from 40% to 10%. Expand on that. People are just coming in and buying petrol and exhausting their supply of 2000 notes?
Yes. So basically this is an consumption boost. So the whatever you are paying to if somebody is going and spending at the petrol pump, so that amount of money will now be deposited by the petrol pump owners maybe in their current account. So that will give a boost to the low-cost deposit account of the bank. So basically that will also lead to an improvement in CASA. But the second corollary of this, that a part of this is also getting withdrawn. We have seen that there has been an increase in ATM transaction also in the last couple of fortnight after this note was discontinued. So that means that a part of the money, and we estimate that around 60% of that, a part of the money in savings account is being withdrawn for lower denomination notes. So
has it been possible for you to determine how much, because you've also said that cash on delivery, e-commerce has also seen a uptick and increase. Have you been able to quantify how much that kind of sales and purchase have increased by?
See, it's difficult to quantify those numbers, but obviously this will be a part of that 55,000 crore consumption boost, which we are estimating is happening purely because of this withdrawal of the note. 55,000 crore, we can actually get a consumption multiplier of 1.8 trillion. So, which is not a small number. And this number, if it is added to the private funnel consumption expenditure for Q1, you can actually have a GDP growth rate which could be in excess of 8%, which the RBI is projecting for FY24.
While the whole world is still undergoing a lot of volatility, inflation pressures in the developed economies, what does this broadly mean for the entire financial year, Mr. Ghosh? Because like you've been pointing out, there is a front loading of consumption, but it would also mean that once people sort of are through with this cycle of replacement exchange of 2,000 rupee notes, there will be a dip as well.
Let me answer your question in a different manner. So right now we are seeing that 60% of his amount is being withdrawn from the banks. So over a point of time, as people deposit more and more 2,000 rupee notes into the system, this 60% number could actually go up, because so from that point of view, of course, this impact could get a little bit diminished over a point of time, but it could be also possible that this ratio of withdrawal to the total deposit number could also go up. So on the net basis, it is difficult to say, but obviously the maximum impact on consumption will be at least till September, or if till September in terms of a boost to the overall growth. And I think that's good for us also, because the way the markets have been moving from April to June this year, the total amount of portfolio capital inflows which has come into in the April to June is at least US 8.5 billion. So that means at least 50,000 crores of money has flown into the stock market.
You are watching India Today.
Good morning and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha. These are the headlines we're tracking at the top of the hour. President Biden and First Lady Jill host Prime Minister Modi for an intimate dinner. Jill Biden personally inspects dinner table, gives Modi antique American Bugatti and vintage camera. Prime Minister Modi gives 7.5 carat lab-grown green diamond to Jill Biden. Modi presents 10 Hindu gifts for President Biden, gifts as per Hindu ritual for 80-year-old president. Drenched in rain, Modi stands for anthem. Modi braves the rain for national anthem. Desh Bhakti, goosebumps in drenching rain. Prime Minister Modi meets students at the National Science Event in Washington, pitches Startup India mission, says aim to make this a tech decade. A rousing welcome for Prime Minister Modi in Washington. Prime Minister Modi welcome displays all around. Diaspora flocks Modi event. News coming in at the top of this hour, protests and statewide bandh over power tariff. Karnataka power tariff war escalates. Bellary Business Group stage protest. Bellary Apparel Processing Association, District Cold Storage Association take out a protest march against electricity price hike. Those are images of that protest march in Bellary. This is in fact blowback as far as the free power tariff guarantee of the Congress government of Karnataka is concerned. Protests and statewide bandh over power tariff. Karnataka power tariff war has now escalated, especially in Bellary, where business groups stage a protest. The Apparel Processing Association and the District Cold Storage Association among those business groups that have in fact taken out a protest march against the electricity price hike.
This HESCOM raised the bill without even giving intimation to the public. And if there was a normal increase of 5% or 7%, which was acceptable to everyone. But whereas this time the bill's increase has gone up from 30 to 70% for many of the people. And many of the industries depend on heavily on power, whether it is small, micro or bigger industries, power intensive. So power has become like a raw material for them. So when such is the case, with this increase, there is a very possibility that many of the industries are not going to become viable, and there is every chance that they may close down also.
My colleague Nagarjun Dwarkanath is joining me live from Bengaluru on this. Nagarjun, what are the business groups saying?
Follow me. In fact, it was the Chamber of Commerce that had called for the protest across Karnataka and also had asked the Chief Minister to think about the power tariff hike. While the negotiations didn't go through, the Chamber of Commerce have continued the protest today. They have taken up a march in Hubli, in Belgaum, in Bellary, where industries have closed, remained shut for the day. And all the owners and also entrepreneurs have joined and have taken to the streets to go to the DC office to give them a representation as to why the power tariff hike is affecting them and their business. Especially this month's bill, they feel that it's gone high. And also remember, industries pay a commercial tariff and not the same tariff that the residents pay. So it's a bit more extra for them is what they feel. And now on May 12th is when the power tariff hike came into existence. From that day, the government saying that we can't reduce the power tariff because it was recommended during the tenure of the previous government. And hence we will go through it is what they are saying. While the industries are saying that the government has to do much more than just wash off their hands.
Right. So the government's defense, Nagarjun, is that this was a tariff which was increased during the previous regime. But clearly the business groups are going to say that it's within your reach and within your power to bring it down as well.
Well, absolutely. In fact, even if the autonomous body called KERC recommended the power tariff hike, the government could well have said, let's not pass it on to the consumers and they can pay from the exchequer. But there are also 5 guarantee schemes that the government has to pay. Remember, around 60,000 crore the government will have to pay for the free bus schemes, free electricity schemes. And even if the power tariff hike, if it's not given to the consumer, it will be too much burden on the government, is what the present dispensation is feeling.
And to what extent have prices, the tariff has gone up as far as business are concerned?
Well, it's somewhere varying between 70 paise to 2 rupee 40 paise, depending on the number of units you use, depending on if it's a commercial purpose or a personal use. So 70 paise to 2 rupees 40 paise is what per unit has increased in Karnataka.
Okay, and how is the Chamber of Commerce in Karnataka or the various business groups hoping to escalate their protests? Because the government, as you just pointed out, seems to have washed its hands off.
Well, this is just the first round of negotiations, right? The Chamber of Commerce is holding a protest march. The business people have come down to the streets, marching to the district collector's office to give a memorandum and representation. If this continues, maybe in a month or so, they would have a protest in Bangalore also and then march towards the electricity department board to give a memorandum there. These are just preliminary information, but nothing given by the Chamber of Commerce. They are saying this after today's protest, most likely that the government will rethink its decision.
Okay, Nagarjun, thank you so much for bringing us all of those details. News coming in right now. Ajit Pawar reveals larger ambitions in the NCP. Pawar Jr. says LOP post is stifling him. Ajit Pawar tells his uncle Sharad Pawar want a stronger post within the NCP. Supriya Sule backs Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar's direct reply to Sharad Pawar: free me from the post of Leader of Opposition in the Maharashtra Assembly. Give me some position within the NCP organization. After that, see how the party runs. Give me any post in the organization. Whatever you think is appropriate, I will do justice to that post. So Ajit Pawar has told his uncle Sharad Pawar, NCP president, that he does not want to stay on as Leader of Opposition in the Maharashtra Assembly. He wants a role within the party organization. Remember that there was a recheck as far as the party was concerned very recently when Sharad Pawar announced Supriya Sule and Praful Patel as working presidents of the party, and various other roles were distributed among some of the top leaders of the NCP. But Ajit Pawar continued to be only the Leader of Opposition.
आता इतके वर्ष सगळीकडे काम केले.
I've worked everywhere across so many years.
सगळ्यांना सांगायचे मला विरोधी पक्ष नेत्यामध्ये फार काही इंटरेस्ट नव्हता.
I had no such interest in being LOP.
आणि संघटनेची जबाबदारी द्या.
Give me an organizational role and see what kind of a job I do.
एक मिनिट. अर्थात हा अधिकार हा नेते मंडळींचा आहे. पण माझी इच्छा
The leadership
बाकीचे वेगवेगळे इच्छा
can take the decision, but this is my wish.
आजपर्यंत पक्षाने जी जबाबदारी दिली ती जबाबदारी मी पार पाडलेली.
Whatever role responsibility was given to me so far, I have
तुम्हाला जे
performed.
योग्य वाटेल ते द्या.
Whatever you think befits me, give me that role.
जय हिंद, जय भारत.
And I will perform. Saurabh Vakhtania, my colleague, is joining us live. Saurabh, where is this coming from? Put things into context for us. Was Ajit Pawar feeling that with him not being given any sort of a major role within the organization when the recent rejig happened, that he's going to some sort of in some sort of a way lose grip as far as the organization is concerned if he continues to remain only LOP?
So well, Paulami, when Ajit Pawar speaks like his senior Pawar, he says lot of things, and also he directs things to several other leaders in the party. But one thing is very clear with this particular statement, Paulami, all is not well in the NCP party. That can be clearly seen. Now, this speech was given by Ajit Pawar, Paulami, in yesterday event. It was the 25th foundation day of the NCP party. All the top leaders were present. What precisely Ajit Pawar said is that he has an experience of over 25 years in this particular party, and one thing is very clear, that the party is not strengthening at how it should. He gave an example that how Mamata Banerjee single-handedly rules West Bengal, Arvind Kejriwal has 2 states. Now Sharad Pawar is more senior leader, but we don't rule Maharashtra. This is one thing he said. Second thing he said is there are several leaders in our party only. They keep on getting elected, they keep on becoming MLA, but the party is not getting that strength that we need in Maharashtra. Now this started when Sharad Pawar gave resignation. Remember, it was only Ajit Pawar who was in favor of Sharad Pawar's resignation, while everyone else was asking Sharad Pawar to take back this decision. Now what happens next is that Sharad Pawar rethinks about the decision and then he takes back his resignation. Now later on, 2 working presidents are elected. One is Supriya Sule, other is Praful Patel. Now, it was expected by the Ajit Pawar group that Ajit Pawar will be given a very important position in the party, but that didn't happen. Now, Ajit Pawar group is very much unhappy and they want that Ajit Pawar should be given a bigger responsibility. What we are learning from the sources is that Jayant Patil and Ajit Pawar don't get along well. So, it can be an interchange as well, that Ajit Pawar becomes the state president and Jayant Patil become the leader of opposition. So there is a lot of things which are right now going within the party, but through this particular statement, one thing is very clear, like I said, that all is not well within the NCP party and we may expect some sort of changes in coming few days, Paulami.
Okay, so all is not well. Clearly, Ajit Pawar and his faction, Saurabh, were not very happy with Ajit Pawar not being given some sort of a role within the organization itself. You say that there could be a switch in the roles as far as Ajit Pawar and Jayant Patil are concerned. Will Jayant Patil be amenable to leave the post of the state president of the party and become LOP?
So yes, that is what the political fraction is right now telling us, and what the Ajit Pawar group wants is that basically Ajit Pawar get a bigger role, because as an LOP, he's not much can do in this particular party. In fact, Ajit Pawar openly said yesterday, Paulami, he clearly said that I need a bigger role. I just don't want to be LOP. I never wanted to be a LOP. I am raising questions of people of Maharashtra, but if people are not happy with me, I cannot help it. He also went on to say that I was not elected as LOP. It was the NCP party and other parties MLA who elected me as an LOP. But for me right now, the main core issue is to strengthen the party in Maharashtra. He gave an example of Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal. He hinted at some of the leaders. There's a clashes in the party, NCP party. He given a hint to the leaders as well that for several years these people are getting elected, but they are not able to strengthen the party in Maharashtra. Why so? We have a very top leader like Sharad Pawar. In the leadership of Sharad Pawar, the party can go miles, but that is not happening. So he clearly indicated that somewhere down the line there are people in the NCP itself who doesn't want the party to grow, and therefore he should be given a bigger responsibility so that he can strengthen the party. Now this clearly indicates, Paulami, that there's all not well, and the Ajit Pawar fraction wants that Ajit Pawar becomes the state president. Right now the state president is Jayant Patil, and Jayant Patil has become the LOP of Maharashtra. So we are expecting such kind of changes in the coming time.
It remains to be seen, of course, whether Jayant Patil is responsive to the suggestion of this swapping of roles. Saurabh, stay on with us. We're getting more news that's coming in from Maharashtra. Maha-Aurangzeb Uddhav poster war erupts. Some posters were put up in a few places in Mahim in Mumbai yesterday, late night, which in fact had pictures of Uddhav Thackeray and Prakash Ambedkar. Between them, there was a picture of Aurangzeb. Now, the posters said that Prakash Ambedkar is a supporter of Aurangzeb and Uddhav Thackeray is supporting him. Sources in Mumbai police said that immediately when they found out about these posters, they removed the posters. Proper investigation will be done into the matter, they assured, and legal action will be taken. You can see those images that appeared in Mahim area of Mumbai. Saurabh Bhaktania is live with us. Saurabh, those posters that emerged in Mahim clearly show Uddhav Thackeray on one side, Prakash Ambedkar on the other side, and in between the image of Aurangzeb.
So, well, Paulami, let me tell you that a few days back it was Prakash Ambedkar who had went to a place, visited a place of Aurangzeb, and very recently there were several meetings between Uddhav Thackeray and Prakash Ambedkar as well. And now these posters have come up, and there is actually a lot of talks which is happening between Uddhav Thackeray and Prakash Ambedkar. And just to give you a hint that Ajit Pawar is not liking it, because Ajit Pawar yesterday also said that like-minded people do not cut each other's vote. So what has happened is that these posters have come up in Mahim area. It's not just at one place, remember Paulami, there are different places in Mahim. And very late night, we have been told that between 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. these posters were put up by some group, and then pictures and videos were taken out. Then this particular pictures went on viral on social media. The Mumbai police officials came to know about these pictures. Now what these pictures have to say? It clearly says that Prakash Ambedkar is the follower of Aurangzeb and Prakash Ambedkar is in touch with Uddhav Thackeray. So is it that Uddhav Thackeray is supporter of Aurangzeb? So that is the question mark through which this particular poster message
okay,
is given.
Saurabh, thank you so much for joining us with those details. Saurabh Bhaktania there reporting from Mumbai. News coming in right now. Violent protests against the administration for demolishing the illegal railing outside the Shani temple in Mandavli area of East Delhi.
ये रेलिंग, ये आप देखिए जो रेलिंग आप देख रही हैं आगे की तरफ, ये रेलिंग, इसको यहाँ पर ये रेलिंग भी लगाई गई थी। तो इसको देखिए, यहाँ पर जो महिलाएं हैं वो जाने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। जो महिला पुलिसकर्मी है, जो केंद्रीय रिजर्व फोर्स की है, ये देखिए गमला उठा लिया, इस महिला ने गमला उठा लिया। आप देखिए किस तरीके से लोगों का विरोध का सामना करना पड़ रहा है। या आसपास के लोग हैं, कुछ हिंदू संगठन के लोग भी बताए जा रहे हैं जो मौके पर मौजूद है। तो प्रशासन एक एक करके इस पूरे इलाके को खाली कराने का काम कर रहा है। सभी को यहाँ से हटाया जा रहा है। तस्वीरें साफ तौर पर देखी जा सकती हैं। विरोध किस स्तर पर प्रशासन को उठाना पड़ रहा है। और वहीं दूसरी तरफ आप देखिए, यहाँ पर तैयार है हथौड़े और ये फरसा लेकर के कि कब प्रशासन का आदेश मिलेगा और वो जो अपना काम करने आया है वो उसे अंजाम दे। तो देखिए तमाम जो कोशिश है वो जारी है। अब ये देखना होगा कि प्रशासन यहाँ पर किस तरीके का निर्णय लेता है, क्योंकि हमने कई बार देखा है कि प्रशासन को लोगों के विरोध के बाद पीछे हटना पड़ा है। तो क्या इस बार प्रशासन पीछे हटता है या फिर यहाँ पर जिस उद्देश्य से वो आया है या जो करने के लिए यहाँ पर भेजा गया था वो उसे अंजाम दे पाते हैं। तो तमाम तरीके की कोशिशें आपको दिखाते हैं। बुजुर्ग महिलाएं भी यहाँ पर, ये देखिए बुजुर्ग महिलाएं भी यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं जो यहाँ पर बैठ गई हैं। अधिकारी भी मौजूद हैं। सर एक सवाल का जवाब, ये क्या तोड़ा जाना था? सिर्फ बाहर की रेलिंग या मंदिर का कुछ हिस्सा?
केवल जो फुटपाथ पे जो इंक्रोचमेंट हुआ है रेलिंग के माध्यम से, केवल उसको हटाने का प्रोग्राम है। मंदिर को बिल्कुल नहीं छुआ जाएगा।
मंदिर को बिल्कुल नहीं छुआ जाना था। तो आप ये देखिए क्लियर कर दिया गया है कि मंदिर को बिल्कुल नहीं छुआ जाना था। जो फुटपाथ पे जो कवर किया गया तो वो हिस्से को हम दिखाते हैं। तो ये इलाके के डीएम जिन्होंने क्लियर किया, पूर्वी दिल्ली के, जिन्होंने कहा कि मंदिर नहीं बल्कि ये जो हिस्सा है, आप ये देखिए मंदिर को बिल्कुल नहीं छुआ जाना था। जो ये पूरा हिस्सा है फुटपाथ का उसको यहाँ पे क्लियर किया जाना था। तो उसको क्लियर करने के लिए ही यहाँ पर प्रशासन पहुंचा था, लेकिन यहाँ पर लोगों के विरोध का सामना करना पड़ रहा है। तो अब ये हम देखते हैं कि किस तरीके से पुलिस प्रशासन लोगों को हटाता है। और ये आप देखिए यहाँ पर बल प्रयोग से पहले प्रशासन ने लोगों को समझाने की कोशिश की थी और प्रशासन की तरफ से ये स्पष्ट कर दिया गया था कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ बाहर की रेलिंग तोड़ी जानी है, आप लोग यहाँ से हट जाएं, इसको तोड़ा जाना है क्योंकि ये जो हिस्सा है ये अवैध रूप से कवर किया गया है। लेकिन लोग नहीं माने और लोग लगातार अड़े रहे। और जिसके बाद अब देखिए जो डीसीपी हैं वो इस इलाके की अमृता गुगलोत, वो भी यहाँ मौके पर पहुंची हुई हैं और चीजों को क्लियर कराने की, ताकि लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन खराब ना हो, इसके लिए वो यहाँ पर मौजूद है। लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन को देखने के लिए और तमाम जो आला अधिकारी हैं वो यहाँ पर मौजूद है। और देखिए हटाने का काम जो है वो साथ साथ यहाँ पर किया जा रहा है। जो लगाया गया था, आप ये देखिए जो ये आप रेलिंग देख रहे हैं, जैसा कि इलाके के डीएम ने बताया, ये जो रेलिंग आप देख रही हैं जिसको हटाने के लिए प्रशासन पहुंचा था। तो अब हम देखते हैं कि किस तरीके से प्रशासन इस जगह को क्लियर करा पाता है और साथ साथ कानून और व्यवस्था की स्थिति को भी मेंटेन रख पाता है। फिलहाल प्रशासन की कोशिश है कि वो किसी भी तरीके से कानून और व्यवस्था की स्थिति को भी न बिगड़ने दे, लोगों से इस जगह को खाली कराया जा सके। तो आप देखिए यहाँ की सीधी तस्वीरें, इस वक्त हम मौजूद हैं मंडावली इलाके में। ये पूर्वी स्कूल ब्लॉक का इलाका है, पूर्वी स्कूल ब्लॉक का, जहाँ पर इस जगह को वरिष्ठ नागरिक विश्राम स्थल सौजन्य RWA से कर दिया गया था और इसी जगह को क्लियर कराने के लिए तमाम लोग पहुंचे हुए हैं। तो अब हम देखते हैं कि क्या कुछ यहाँ पर प्रशासन का अगला स्टेप होता है। जिस तरीके से यहाँ पर साथ साथ हटाने का काम हो रहा है या महिलाएं यहाँ पर जो डटी हुई हैं, तो हम ये देखते हैं कि प्रशासन आगे का क्या निर्णय लेता है। और यहाँ पर उन्होंने आप ये बताइए कि प्रशासन तो कह रहा है कि सिर्फ हम रेलिंग हटाने आए क्योंकि फुटपाथ लोगों के
रेलिंग हटा के फिर मंदिर भी हटा रहे हैं। ये गुंडागर्दी का
फिर देखिए इनका कहना है कि पहले रेलिंग हटाएंगे, मंदिर हटा देंगे, जबकि प्रशासन ने स्पष्ट किया है कि सिर्फ ये देखिए, आप ये देखिए यहाँ पर, ये देखिए उसको हटाने का काम जारी है। कुछ यहाँ पर हिंदू संगठन के नेता भी पहुंच गए हैं। हम उनसे बात करने की कोशिश करते हैं कि आखिर प्रशासन जो निर्णय ले रहा है वो ले गए। आप देखिए पुलिस उन्हें पकड़ के यहाँ से ले गई। वो आए थे यहाँ पर विरोध करने के लिए, लेकिन यहाँ से पुलिस ने फौरन उन्हें हटा दिया। प्रशासन तो सिर्फ रेलिंग हटा रहा है। आप ये देखिए उन्हें ले जाया जा रहा है कि जो आदेश है वो दिखाया जा सके, जो ऊपर से जो आदेश आया है उसके बारे में दिखाया जा सके। आप देखिए आगे जो अधिकारी हैं उनके पास लेके जाया गया है। तो आप जिस तरीके की बात है, देखिए ये जो झंडा है, हम आपको दूसरी तरफ की तस्वीरें दिखाते हैं। आपने देखिए ये जो आप देख रहे हैं, ये आप यहाँ पर देखिए, ये रेलिंग हटाने प्रशासन यहाँ पे आया था। जिस रेलिंग के हिस्से को यहाँ पर देखिए तोड़ करके यहाँ पर हटाया जा रहा है। ये मजदूर यहाँ पर मौजूद है जिनको लाया गया था। प्रशासन का विरोध, लोगों का विरोध जब हुआ तो रुका, और उसके बाद लोगों को यहाँ पर बड़ी संख्या में सिक्योरिटी बुलानी पड़ी। और यहाँ से अब उसको देखिए, ये जो इलाका है प्रशासन के मुताबिक, ये पूरा जो इलाका है ये फुटपाथ का इलाका है। दोनों तरफ से यहाँ पर एक रेलिंग दूसरी रेलिंग लगा ली गई थी और बैरिकेडिंग की गई थी। गमले रखे गए थे, आप देखिए यहाँ पर पूरे गमले रखे गए थे। तो प्रशासन कह रहा है कि हम यही हटाएंगे, जबकि जिस महिला से हमने बात की थी उस महिला का ये कहना था कि पहले तो रेलिंग हटाएंगे और उसके बाद वो जो है यहाँ से मंदिर हटाएंगे। हालांकि प्रशासन ने स्पष्ट किया है कि उनकी मंशा सिर्फ और सिर्फ जो फुटपाथ है उस जगह को खाली कराने की है। तो देखिए रेलिंग यहाँ पर तोड़ी गई। अर्पिता आगे देखिए, ये रेलिंग यहाँ से हटा दी जा रही है। रेलिंग ये लेकर के आगे की तरफ जा रहे हैं, और जो लोग हैं जो विरोध करने के लिए लोग पहुंचे हुए थे उन्हें सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस ने पीछे की तरफ कर दिया है। उन सभी लोग जो वहां पर प्रदर्शन कर रहे थे उनको हटा करके पीछे की तरफ कर दिया गया। वो झंडे लेकर के, इसमें कुछ आसपास के लोग हैं और कुछ हिंदू संगठन के भी जो लोग हैं वो यहाँ पर पहुंचे हुए हैं, जय श्री राम के नारे लगा रहे हैं। तो फिलहाल प्रशासन अपना काम कर रहा है। तमाम प्रदर्शन, तमाम विरोध के बावजूद, लोगों के विरोध के बावजूद यहाँ से पूरी जो पूरा यहाँ पर रेलिंग था उसे हटाया जा रहा है। अर्पिता।
So that is, of course, the live report that my colleague Himanshu Mishra is filing from on ground in Mandavli in East Delhi, where protests have broken out, where residents are trying to block the administration, the local administration, from removing the encroachments on the footpath and the railing around a local temple. The people over there, of course, fear that the administration is going to demolish the temple as well. But the DM there spoke with Himanshu and clarified that the mandir, the temple, won't be touched at all. We're slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned. News and updates will continue on the other side of this break.
You are watching India Today.
Staying healthy in the summer involves knowing how to avoid sun poisoning and sunburn. Safe and healthy eating and drinking practices are included. We're telling you exactly what the most common mistakes in summers are and how you can avoid them. Though it may be tempting to enjoy the summer months outside, it's important to not overstay your welcome in the hot summer sun. Doing so can increase the risk of sunburn, sun poisoning, and skin cancer. Here are things you must keep in mind before you use a sunscreen. Adults should wear a sunscreen with no less than an SPF 15. Sunscreens should also be broad spectrum. This means they have the ability to protect against both ultraviolet A or UVA and ultraviolet B or UVB. UVA is what makes the skin age and UVB is what burns the skin. But if you do end up with a sunburn, do not use ice cubes. Sunburns can react to extreme cold. Do this instead. Putting a cold, damp towel on the skin for 10 to 15 minutes a few times each day. Applying a moisturizer with aloe vera or soy. Drinking extra water, leaving blisters alone. Sunglasses do much more than complement style during sunny days. Look for sunglasses that block out 99 to 100% of both UVA and UVB radiation. Lessen the risk of foodborne illnesses by keeping hands washed and cleaning prep surfaces and appliances. Cook and hold meats to their proper internal temperature as well. The anti-inflammatory properties of the following foods may act as a natural defense against the sun and sunburns. Berries, tomatoes, carrots, salad greens, fatty fish such as salmon, almond, green tea.
The diet which is high fiber diet and which have a high water content, for example green leafy vegetables, they have a high water content. You can eat watermelon in this summer. You can drink lot of fluids like coconut water is very important. Its potassium is a rich source of potassium. Potassium is very important for your muscles, and heat cramps most of the times when happen, it is all because of potassium and sodium loss from the body. So all these precautions you have to take this summer.
In New Delhi, Sneha Murdani for India Today.
Exfoliators, chemical peels, hydrofacials. The internet is abuzz with skincare treatments that celebrities like Jennifer Aniston, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Courtney Cox swear by and dermats advise. But what are these interesting ways to lift your skin and ensure the return of that glow? Chemical peels is one. These summers, doctors say chemical exfoliation is the best thing to do for your skin. Your skincare products work because they contain one kind of acid or another, which is why they produce effects. If you're into skincare and reading labels, you already know what AHAs and BHAs are and what they do for your skin. These are the two most popular kinds of skincare acids.
Basically, exfoliation is a process in which we remove the superficial dead skin layer. Now, this can be done by physical means such as microdermabrasion or dermaplaning, or it can be done by chemical means like various acids. These are alpha hydroxy acids or beta hydroxy acids. So, alpha hydroxy acids like glycolic acid or lactic acid or mandelic acid, these basically work for things like pigmentation to give you a refreshed, youthful glow. Beta hydroxy acids like salicylic acid, they are more preferred in patients who have oily skin, acne prone skin, because they reduce the oil production in the skin and thereby give a clearer complexion.
So what is new about this skincare acid, you ask?
Chemically, AHA stands for alpha hydroxy acid and BHA stands for beta hydroxy acid. Now, because of the difference in their chemical structure and composition, they serve different purposes. So, for pigmentation, AHAs are preferred because they work on the pigmentation process. They work to reduce the melanin production in the skin and thereby give a brighter, clearer complexion, especially in those who suffer from, either hyperpigmentation or dark spots, or even some kind of post-inflammatory scars that may be present. However, if because of the composition of beta hydroxy acid like salicylic acid, it works more to reduce the oil and sebum production in the skin. So this works best in those who suffer from acne, who have very oily skin, even those who have a lot of open pores. It helps to resurface the skin to improve the skin quality, texture, and overall give you a much clearer, brighter complexion.
Who benefits from it? BHAs are a great acid for sensitive skin types because they work gradually and do not irritate or create redness. As AHAs are more hydrating in nature, they are advised for people with average to dry skin, as they penetrate deeply to clear clogged pores, dissolve sebum and remove dead skin cells. BHAs, on the other hand, are ideal for people with oily skin types. PHAs are therefore strongly advised if you have delicate skin. It functions as a humectant and helps to keep the moisture level in the skin, so those with dry skin can also profit from it. Use this essential acid as a moisturizer, serum, or even a mask at any stage of your hygiene regimen that you desire.
You are watching India Today.
News coming in right now. Former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, has reached Patna. She's left for her guest house directly from Patna Airport. Opposition parties are to meet on June 23rd in Patna, and the process of arrival of leaders of the opposition parties has started today. So Mehbooba Mufti has already touched down in Patna. Rohit Singh, my colleague, is joining me live from Patna. The big opposition meet, Rohit, is going to be all the talk of town tomorrow, and already opposition leaders have started arriving in the city of Patna.
Well, yes, you are right, Paulimi, that the big opposition meeting is all scheduled to take place in Patna tomorrow, and this meeting will be taking place at 1 Ane Marg. That's the official residence of Chief Minister and Nitish Kumar, and already we are seeing that the host of guests have started coming down to Patna, and Mehbooba Mufti, the PDP chief and the former Chief Minister of Jammu Kashmir, the first person, the first guest who has already arrived in Patna, and she is now staying at the state guest house, and more leaders will be arriving by evening today, which includes West Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee. She is coming at around 5 o'clock. She is touching down to Patna, and Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant Mann also, they will be flying down to Patna at around 5:30. And very interesting development also taking place that Mamata Banerjee straight away from the airport will be going to meet RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad at 10 Circular Road. So that is the one-on-one meeting that is going to take place between Mamata Banerjee and Lalu Prasad, and these are the pictures which we are showing you from outside the 1 Ane Marg, that's the CM residence, and literally this entire CM residence and roads in and around this CM house has been turned into a fortress. All barricadings done. Nobody is being allowed to even get closer to the Chief Minister's residence, and you can see pictures how big barricadings and have been put up here outside the Chief Minister's residence to ensure that no untoward people or any kind of antisocial elements who can get closer, because you remember most of the VVIPs and the opposition leaders who are coming are all Z plus or Z protectee, category protectee, and that is why the Bihar police is also ensuring that all the necessary kind of security is provided to all these leaders who are having Z or Z plus security cover. So the leaders have started trickling into Patna. Mehbooba Mufti, the first one. More leaders will be coming by evening today, and Rahul Gandhi and other big leaders like Uddhav Thackeray, Sharad Pawar, they will be coming to Patna tomorrow, and then that big opposition meeting will be taking place at CM's residence to chalk out the strategy before the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, and efforts will also be put in to ensure that the opposition is united somehow to take on the BJP. Follow me.
that big opposition meeting is expected to happen in Patna. Rohit, thank you so much for joining us. That meeting will take place tomorrow, and already, as Rohit was reporting, opposition leaders have started trickling into Patna. Mehbooba Mufti, the first, in fact, to touch down. Mamata Banerjee, West Bengal Chief Minister, will also be arriving in Patna later this evening, but straight from the airport, she's going to head to 10 Circular Road in Patna to pay a visit to RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad Yadav. News coming in right now, and this from West Bengal. As far as Governor C.V. Anand Bose is concerned, with new step, a new earthquake has come in the politics of West Bengal. If sources are to be believed, Governor C.V. Anand Bose has refused to accept the appointment letter of the State Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Sinha. This decision, in fact, of the governor has come after the opinion of the Calcutta High Court, when the Calcutta High Court yesterday, while commenting on the Chief Election Commissioner, said that if you cannot accept the order, then you can resign. Now, according to sources, the governor had called Rajiv Sinha to Raj Bhavan in Kolkata to meet him after taking over, and he did not turn up. Now, after this, the governor has taken this step. So that's another face-off that's brewing as far as Bengal politics is concerned. Anupam Mishra is joining us over the phone line right now. Anupam, give us more details. What exactly has happened?
Please follow me. Hours after Calcutta High Court on Wednesday, that is yesterday, pulled up State Election Commissioner Rajiv Sinha, telling him to step down. What the High Court said that if it is difficult for him to take over the deployment of central forces, then you can step down. After that observation, the governor of West Bengal, C.V. Anand Bose, reportedly refused to accept his joining letter. And the joining letter, which he was about to sign, he has sent it back. And the reason, the sources are saying that he has called up Rajiv Sinha twice to meet him in Governor House, but he did not turn up. That is why Governor has refused to sign on joining letter. But over this issue, TMC is very angry. They are saying that they have consulted with Governor, and after consultation, they have appointed Rajiv Sinha as the Chief Election Commissioner. So why he is doing this? He is doing this. They are alleging that government.
Okay, we seem to have lost that phone line with Anupam Mishra, my colleague. We'll try and reconnect with him. But this is very interesting in what's happening in West Bengal, because Rajiv Sinha, he is the State Election Commissioner. He is, of course, tasked with the responsibility of conducting those polls, Panchayat polls in West Bengal on July 8th. The Calcutta High Court had very recently ordered the deployment of central forces in West Bengal. It had, in fact, scheduled a timeline for it as well, but that hasn't happened. Rajiv Sinha and the West Bengal government had even gone to the Supreme Court challenging that decision. Yesterday, the Calcutta High Court said that if you cannot do what has been asked of you, then you might as well step down. And now the governor has refused to accept or sign on the joining letter of Rajiv Sinha. News coming in right now. Violent protests against the administration for demolishing the illegal railing outside the Shani temple in Mandavli area of East Delhi. You can see those images of the protests that have broken out. The administration is trying to demolish the railing and the encroachments on the footpath right outside the temple. Let's listen in to my colleague Himanshu, who is at the spot.
सड़क पर मौजूद हैं, उन्हें भी हटने को कहा जा रहा है ताकि जो यहाँ के हालात हैं वो सामान्य रहे। और साथ ही साथ पुलिस ने लोगों से ये भी कहा है कि यहाँ से निकली किसी बात पर विश्वास न करें, प्रशासन और पुलिस की बात पर ध्यान दें, क्योंकि जो भी यहाँ पर तोड़ने पहुंचे थे लोग वो सरकारी प्रक्रिया थी। और हमने एक चीज और देखा अभी पिछले कुछ समय में दिल्ली में कई सारे ऐसे रिलीजियस प्लेस जो सड़कों पर बने हुए थे या किसी तरीके का एनक्रोचमेंट था, तो वहां पर प्रशासन का हथौड़ा चला है। तो यहाँ पर किसी एक पर्टिकुलर कंप्लेन पर आए या फिर जो जिस तरीके से कार्रवाई हम लगातार देखते आ रहे हैं उसके तहत ये कार्रवाई हुई, ये अभी प्रशासन से स्पष्टीकरण इस मामले में नहीं मिला है। लेकिन हमने जो डीएम से बात की थी उनका ये कहना था कि जो रेलिंग था सिर्फ वो तोड़ने आए थे, इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं। इलाके की डीसीपी हमारे साथ हैं। मैम, एक सवाल बस ये कि क्या आज का काम हो गया और कुछ नहीं?
You have to ask SDM.
कुछ हुआ है बातचीत डीएम से? देखिए, क्योंकि ये पूरा जो कार्य है वो सरकार के द्वारा किया जा रहा है, तो इसलिए जो डीसीपी है इलाके की, उन्होंने क्लियर कर दिया कि यू हैव टू आस्क डीएम। आप डीएम से बात करें, क्योंकि वही बताएंगे कि कार्रवाई रुकी या चलती रहेगी। पुलिस का काम है सिक्योरिटी प्रदान करना। तो आप ये देखिए, जो तमाम जो यहाँ पर आपको पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेज के, दिल्ली पुलिस के जवान नजर आ रहे हैं, वो यहाँ पर सुरक्षा के लिए मौजूद है। और यहाँ पर जल्द से जल्द आम लोगों से भी पुलिस बात कर रही है।
Okay, so that is my colleague Himanshu Mishra, who's reporting from the spot in Mandavli in East Delhi, where the administration had reached in order to remove the encroachments from the footpath and illegal railing alongside a Shani temple in the area, but the locals protested. Listen into what's happening on the ground.
यहाँ पर जो मंदिर तोड़ा जा रहा है, काम चल रहा है, क्या कहना?
ये आम आदमी पार्टी के सरकार की मुस्लिम प्रस्त नीति थी, क्योंकि पीछे साथ में एक मदरसा इलीगल बनाया हुआ था, लोग उसकी शिकायत कर रहे थे, और ये एक छोटा सा पेड़ के नीचे मंदिर बनाया हुआ था, और उसके लिए हवन कीर्तन करने के लिए एक ग्रिल लगा रखी थी, ताकि वो बैठ के शांति से हवन कीर्तन, वो उधर मीट डाल रहे थे। इनको रोकने के लिए क्या होता, क्योंकि आम आदमी पार्टी के विधायक इसमें पीछे थे, इसलिए ये काम किया गया।
So you can see that there are protests that have broken out on the ground. Himanshu is reporting. Let's listen in.
इसके बाद यहाँ पर लोगों के बढ़ते विरोध के बाद पुलिस ने लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन तो संभाल ली, लेकिन शायद सरकार जो यहाँ पर पहुंची थी वो इसके बाद अपनी कार्रवाई उन्होंने रोक दिया। एक जो पूरा आप देखिए, ये जो पूरा हिस्सा था इसको यहाँ से उखाड़ दिया, एक ये रेलिंग यहाँ से उखाड़ दी। लोगों का बेहद विरोध का सामना लोगों को करना पड़ा। पुलिस प्रशासन को हटा, यहाँ से लोगों को उठा करके पुलिस ले गई, लेकिन लोगों की भीड़ जो है वो कॉन्टिन्यूअस, क्योंकि देखिए ये बेहद घना रिहायशी इलाका है, आप देख सकते हैं। तो लोग यहाँ पर लगातार पहुंचते रहे। हालांकि जो गलियों का रास्ता था उसे आप देखिए पुलिस ने बैरिकेड लगाकर बंद करने की कोशिश की, लेकिन उसके बावजूद लोग यहाँ पर पहुंचते रहे। जो ट्रैफिक था उसको एक तरफ डाइवर्ट कर दिया गया था। और यहाँ पर जो प्रशासन थी, जब प्रशासन ने दिल्ली पुलिस से ऐसे जब कोई भी काम होता तो प्रशासन जो दिल्ली सरकार है वो दिल्ली पुलिस से मदद मांगती है, तो दिल्ली पुलिस की टीम यहाँ पर पहुंची। ये देखिए सामने कुछ लोग यहाँ पर इस तरीके से देखिए जुलूस भी लेके निकले हुए हैं, बड़ी संख्या में लोग इसमें शामिल है और पुलिस के जवान मौजूद है। यहाँ पे लगातार नारेबाजी की जा रही है। हम आगे की तरफ चलते हैं और देखते हैं कितने लोग यहाँ पर जुट रहे हैं। तो प्रशासन की पूरी कोशिश है कि लोगों को यहाँ जुटने से किसी भी तरीके से रोका जाए। इस रोड को पुलिस ने क्लियर कराया ताकि ट्रैफिक सामान्य हो सके, लेकिन इलाके में धीरे धीरे लोगों की भीड़ बढ़ती ही चली जा रही है। रेलिंग तोड़ने यहाँ पर प्रशासन पहुंचा था। प्रशासन, हमने डीएम से बात की थी तो डीएम ने कहा था कि उनकी कोई भी योजना मंदिर को टच करने की नहीं है, नहीं मंदिर टच करने आए। उनकी जो योजना थी वो जो रेलिंग, जहां पर जो फुटपाथ है, जो हिस्सा कवर है, उसको खाली कराने पहुंचे थे। अब यहाँ पर लोग बीच सड़क पर, देखिए सरकार यहाँ पर जो पुलिस थी वो कोशिश कर रही थी कि ट्रैफिक क्लियर हो जाए, लेकिन इस दौरान और लोग यहाँ पर पहुंचते हैं और बीच सड़क पर पहुंच जाते हैं। जुलूस की शक्ल में लोग यहाँ पर पहुंचे बड़ी संख्या में, और उसके बाद आप देखिए यहाँ पर पुलिस जो है उनको समझा बुझाकर हटाने की लगातार कोशिश कर रही है। पुलिस की कोशिश है कि हालात सामान्य रहे और तमाम जो अधिकारी हैं, कई इलाकों की थाने की पुलिस इस वक्त यहाँ पर पहुंची हुई है। आप देखिए कई इलाकों के थाने की पुलिस यहाँ पर पहुंची हुई है और लगातार प्रशासन की कोशिश है कि हालात सामान्य किए जा सके। जो बड़े वरिष्ठ अधिकारी हैं वो आम लोगों से देखिए यहाँ पर समझाने बुझाने का काम कर रहे हैं। आप देखिए लगातार बातचीत कर रहे हैं, महिलाओं से बातचीत कर रहे हैं, लोगों से बातचीत कर रहे हैं और इस पूरे इलाके में स्थिति सामान्य हो इसकी कोशिश की जा रही है। जो महिला, आप देखिए केंद्रीय रिजर्व पुलिस की महिला कर्मी यहाँ पर सुरक्षा कर्मी मौजूद है और हमने देखा था कि जब महिलाएं अड़ गई थी तो किस तरीके से यहाँ से महिलाओं को हटाने का काम दिल्ली महिला पुलिस और सीआरपी की ये जो महिला टुकड़ी उसने किया।
So that is of course the report that Himanshu has filed from the ground. You can see that additional forces in fact from the CRPF as well who've been brought to the ground. The police of course is finding it difficult to contain the crowds. They've swelled in numbers over the last couple of hours since of course the administration reached the spot in order to remove the illegal encroachments on the footpath alongside the local Shani temple. But the crowds fear that it is the temple which will be demolished by the district administration, and hence they are protesting the same, raising slogans, chants and resisting the same as well. You can see the women over there who've actually reached the front and are standing alongside the temple. The forces there trying to remove them from the spot, but the women there resisting. The administration has clearly stated that they have no intention whatsoever to demolish the temple, to even touch the temple. It is only the illegal encroachments. You can see there are potted plants that have been put on the footpath. There's a railing which is illegal as well. So the encroachment on the footpath outside of the temple is what the administration has in fact received a report about and wants to demolish. But the people over there fear that it is the temple which will in fact be demolished by the administration, and hence they are protesting and physically resisting the police.
जो रेलिंग थी उस रेलिंग को हटाने आए थे, लेकिन लोग यहां पर पहुंच गए। जबरदस्त तरीके से लोगों के विरोध का सामना यहां पर पुलिस प्रशासन को करना पड़ा। सुरक्षा के लिए पुलिस की टीम और यहां पर हेलो।
So you could just see in those images that our camera team and Himanshu are bringing to you from the ground. You can see the crowd which is swelled. More and more local residents have come and reached the spot as news of course probably got around that the local administration had reached the local temple for demolition work. Himanshu in fact is joining us live at the moment. Himanshu, किस तरह से जो लोग हैं वहां के स्थानीय लोग इस वक्त रेजिस्ट कर रहे हैं प्रशासन के काम को?
देखिए, प्रशासन जब यहाँ पर पहुंचा तो प्रशासन, हमने जो इलाके के डीएम है, क्योंकि एग्जैक्ट प्रशासन क्या करना चाहता था ये हम समझने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, तो प्रशासन की तरफ से कहा गया कि मंदिर तोड़ने नहीं आए थे। ये जो रेलिंग जो फुटपाथ पे जो कवर किया गया था वो रेलिंग तोड़ने हम पहुंचे थे। लेकिन लोगों का जबरदस्त विरोध यहाँ पर प्रशासन को देखने को मिला, जिसके बाद प्रशासन ने फिर ये जो हिस्सा है इन दो इलाकों से तो प्रशासन ने यहाँ से जो रेलिंग की हटाई, लेकिन लोग लगातार विरोध कर रहे थे और लोगों के विरोध की वजह से यहाँ पर प्रशासन यहीं पर रुक गया और उसके बाद पुलिस ने लोगों को समझाया बुझाया और यहाँ से लोगों को हटाया। ये जो रोड आप देख रहे हैं ये बेहद बिजी इलाका है, मंडावली का पूर्वी स्कूल ब्लॉक इसे कहते हैं, और यहाँ पर प्रशासन कोशिश कर रहा है कि ट्रैफिक किसी तरीके से नहीं रुके। और देखिए, जो लोग भी प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं बड़ी संख्या में यहाँ से लोग चले गए हैं और पुलिस की कोशिश है कि जो लोग भी यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं किसी तरीके से उनको समझा बुझाकर भेजा जाए। हमने जब दिल्ली पुलिस से बात की, दिल्ली पुलिस का कहना था कि ये पूर्णतः प्रशासन का काम था। प्रशासन जब भी इस तरीके के काम में अगर वो सुरक्षा मांगती है तो पुलिस मुहैया कराती है, और जब यहाँ पर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन हुई तो उन्होंने कंट्रोल किया। दूसरी तरफ अगर हम प्रशासन की बात करें तो इलाके के डीएम थे, उनसे जब आज तक ने बात की, हमने उनसे बात की तो उन्होंने क्लियर कहा कि रेलिंग तोड़ने आए थे क्योंकि वो फुटपाथ कवर कर रहा था, मंदिर तोड़ने हम नहीं गए थे। ये बात इलाके के डीएम ने कही है। और उसके बावजूद जब लोग आप देखिए बड़ी संख्या में मौजूद है यहाँ पर, और पुलिस प्रशासन लगातार समझाकर बुझाकर यहाँ से लोगों को हटाने की कोशिश कर रहा है, क्योंकि आप देखिए थर्सडे का दिन है, बिजी डे है। अभी हमने देखा यहाँ से लगातार जब प्रशासन ने दोनों तरफ की ट्रैफिक बंद किया था तो इसका इम्पैक्ट आसपास की सड़कों पर पड़ा था। तो फिलहाल यहाँ से ट्रैफिक प्रशासन ने खोल दिया। दूसरी तरफ जो मेन रोड पर जो बैरिकेड था उस बैरिकेड को भी हटा दिया गया है, और इस तरफ भी जो बैरिकेड था उसको भी हटा दिया गया है। जो लोग यहाँ पर मौजूद है उससे इलाके की जो डीसीपी हैं अमृता गुगलोत और जो एडिशनल डीसीपी हैं वो लगातार बात कर रहे हैं, लोगों को समझाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और यहाँ से हटाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और किसी भी तरीके से किसी भी परिस्थिति में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन खराब ना हो, ये कोशिश है यहाँ पर मौजूद पुलिस की। पुलिस का ये कहना है कि उनकी जो कोशिश है, हम आप देखिए पुलिस देखिए कह रही है कि एक तरफ आ जाता कि जो ट्रैफिक है वो ट्रैफिक ना रुके। तो अब ये देखना होगा कि जो अब ये सिचुएशन बनी हुई है उस सिचुएशन पे किस तरीके से जो कंट्रोल पुलिस पाती है, प्रशासन अपनी जगह बातचीत कर रहे हैं। जो इलाके के जो पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स हैं वो भी यहाँ पर पहुंचे थे और उसके बाद लोग यहाँ पर जब पहुंचे उनको लोगों को समझाने की कोशिश की जा रही है। पुलिस एक एक कर लोगों से यहाँ से हटाने की कोशिश कर रही है। तस्वीरें आप देख लें, तस्वीरों में साफ नजर आ रहा है कि जो मंदिर है उसके बाहर लोग यहाँ पर जो मौजूद है, ये सामने पुलिस बीट है, उसके बाहर ये मेन रोड पे आप जो देख रहे हैं पेड़ के पास का जो मंदिर का बंद किया है और यहाँ पर ये जो पूरा देखते हैं ये जो पूरा इलाका है लोगों को कि कहीं इसे न तो और इसके चलते लोग भीड़ फिलहाल प्रशासन कर है। देखना होगा कि आगे किस तरीके से लोग और पुलिस के बीच जो है वो बातचीत बनती है और लोग पुलिस की बात मानते हैं या सरकार या प्रशासन की बात मानते हैं, यहाँ पे हटते हैं।
हिमांशु, जो लोग वहां पर हैं क्या अब भी वो प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं? क्या अब भी वो प्रशासन के काम में अड़ंगा लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं?
प्रशासन के काम में तो अब देखिए, क्योंकि प्रशासन का काम जो था यहाँ तक जो उसने हटाया वो उसने हटाया, लेकिन आगे फिलहाल प्रशासन का काम भी रुक गया है। जो अधिकारी कुछ थे वो यहाँ से लौट भी गए हैं और जो विरोध करने के लिए लोग हैं वो एक एरिया में जो पूरा यहाँ का इलाका यहीं पर है। और ज्यादा जिस तरीके की नारेबाजी जब यहाँ पर प्रशासन कार्रवाई कर रहा था, जब बैरिकेड तोड़ रहा था, उस तरीके की तो नहीं है। हम कुछ बात करते उससे जान
में हमारा
Okay, we seem to have some disturbance in Himanshu's line. We'll try and fix that. My colleague Aishwarya Paliwal is also joining us from the spot right now. Aishwarya, we saw images of how the people on the ground tried to resist the district administration's work earlier when they were only simply trying to remove some of the illegal encroachments around the Shani temple in Mandavli. What's happening on the ground right now? Has the administration left the spot?
Well, Paulmi, we have just reached the spot and we can see a lot of people here. The sloganeering is still taking place. This is the spot and the temple where the people in fact stopped the administration drive, and in just a couple of minutes, Paulmi, people gathered in large numbers. The chaos that you are seeing here at the moment, people now walking, sloganeering onto the streets, not letting the administration do its work, is the situation on the ground at the moment, Paulmi.
Okay, we'll try and... Aishwarya over there, of course, is trying to reach the spot, the exact spot where, in fact, that chaos played out just a short while ago. The administration was on the ground trying to, in fact, move those protesters away. They had to call in the police as well. Some central reserved forces were also called in order to remove the protesters. Many of them, as you can see, were women protesters who tried to block the administration's work. We'll try and get a confirmation on whether the administration has left for the day, because that's what Himanshu indicated. If we have Himanshu on the line, we can probably get a confirmation on the same. He did indicate that the administration has left for the day, and the police, of course, is trying to move the protesters away from the spot, because at the end of the day, they have to clear out the area so that traffic and the thoroughfare on that entire stretch can resume.
ये मंदिर है तो क्या प्रॉब्लम, क्या दिक्कत है? ये दो इनके मुसलमानों की तो दो है। अगर हमारी टूटेगी तो उनके भी टूटनी चाहिए, वरना हमारे वो हाथ नहीं, हम मर जाएंगे, मंदिर नहीं टूटने देंगे।
पूरी कॉलोनी में रेलिंग तोड़ दी गई है, क्या करें?
तो रेलिंग तोड़ गए, मार गए, पीट गए, क्या कुछ नहीं कर गए? लेडीजों का हाथ उठा रहे हैं, सबके साथ, सबके साथ। पुलिस वाले फाड़ दिए गए, हमें मार अपने डंडों से। इनका यही इंसाफ है, हमारा कपड़े फाड़ दिए सारे के सारे, पुलिस वालों ने फाड़े। महिला वो उसको क्या बोलते हैं, हमने कहा कि जो मर्दाना है उसको मार दिया, अत्याचारी कर रहे थे।
क्या नाम है?
सुजैन।
हैं मस्त मौसम। हमारे कपड़े फाड़ दिए गए, हम यहाँ पे बैठे हुए तो रोक लगाने के लिए हमारे कपड़े खींचतानी में फाड़ दिए गए, हमें डंडे भी मारा उन्होंने। पुलिस वालों, दिल्ली पुलिस चोर है, दिल्ली पुलिस चोर है, दिल्ली पुलिस चोर।
क्या कहना आपका? महिलाओं के साथ भी धक्का मुक्की है यहाँ पर?
बहुत धक्का मुक्की की है। फौजी की लेडीजों ने हमें धक्का मारा, डंडा भी मारा, उनका कपड़ा फाड़ दी, शशि चांदना को फेंक दिया, हमने उठाई, चोट भी लगी।
So those were some of the women protesters who in fact resisted the administration's work on the ground. Aishwarya Paliwal, my colleague, is also at the spot at the moment. Aishwarya, tell us what's happening around you at the moment.
Well, Paulmi, we are showing you the visuals of what exactly is taking place. You know, because the administration is being run by the Aam Aadmi Party, that's the reason why you are seeing the slogans being raised against Arvind Kejriwal and also against the administration. These are the visuals that we can show you. This is taking place right outside the temple where the administration had come. Jai Shri Ram temples, you know, Jai Shri Ram slogans being raised by the people here. The people now are moving away, Paulmi, let me tell you, from the spot and are now. We'll also try and speak with them. जो मंदिर के लिए एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आया था उसके खिलाफ आप लोग विरोध पर प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं। आप लोग चाहते हैं कि जो जिस तरीके का डिमोलिशन हो रहा है वो ना हो।
ये आज तालिबानी चेहरा केजरीवाल का दिल्ली के सामने आ चुका है। जिस प्रकार तालिबान में मंदिर को और तोड़े गए, उसी प्रकार आज दिल्ली में भी ये तालिबान का जो समर्थक बैठा है केजरीवाल, उसने दिखा दिया कि वो अकबर का आखिरी वंशज है। और आज पीडब्ल्यूडी के माध्यम से, एसडीएम के माध्यम से, डीएम के माध्यम से मंदिर का प्रांगण तोड़ा गया और जिसके हम बहुत खिलाफ हैं। और अगर मंदिर तोड़ा है तो बगल में मोहल्ला क्लिनिक टूटना चाहिए। बगल में मदरसा है, मदरसा टूटना चाहिए, अवैध मदरसा है। तो हम इसके खिलाफ कड़ी
So they are against the fact that a part of the temple, they are against the fact that the temple premises has been broken, Paulmi, and they are also saying that in case some part of the temple is demolished, then the adjoining areas, the adjoining buildings should also be demolished. The people now walking here and going onto the other side now. Slogans against Arvind Kejriwal at the moment being raised. Paulmi.
Okay, so it appears that the district administration, Aishwarya, has stopped its work for the day because of the resistance of the people.
There definitely is a lot of resistance, Paulmi. You know, now conversations being happening between the leader here, the local leader here, and they're also trying to speak with the administration.
Okay, Aishwarya, we'll come back to you. We're going to stay with this story because tensions escalated on the ground over there in Mandavli, East Delhi. We're slipping into a short break now.
You are watching India Today.
Fan of Modi, so.
Billionaire, visionary, world's richest man, and latest addition to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's large fan list. Tesla chief and Twitter owner Elon Musk confessed that he's a big fan of Prime Minister Narendra Modi after he met him in New York.
I am a fan of Modi, so I have to say that.
Musk richly lauded Modi's transformation of India.
I can say he really wants to do the right thing for India. He wants to be open. He wants to be supportive of new companies, and obviously, but at the same time, make sure it accrues to India's advantage.
Endorsing Prime Minister's vision for India, Musk, who has been scouting for location of Tesla's next factory, hinted at his next possible foray into India.
Obviously, India is great for solar, and the amount of land area you actually need to generate enough electricity to power India is very small. I believe it'd be probably 1 or 2% of the land area of India. So it's very doable. And then you need to pair that with stationary battery packs because the sun doesn't shine at night. And then you need electric vehicles, and then you have a sustainable energy future.
When I spoke to Elon Musk soon after his meeting with Prime Minister Modi, he's confirmed on record that Tesla will be investing, he himself will be coming to India next year, and that Tesla is looking to collaborate around SpaceX and invest in manufacturing in India. Now, the specific nature of the investment not explained at the moment, but just the fact that Elon Musk has himself confirmed that Tesla will be investing in India after meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi would count as one of the big wins.
Modi appreciated Musk's efforts at making cutting-edge technology accessible and affordable for the masses.
Your reaction to Jack Dorsey's statement, Elon?
Powered by The world comes together at Sharda University.
Prime Minister Modi in the United States, indeed an India moment as we see this kind of euphoria that surrounded this 4-day state visit of the Prime Minister. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Let me take you through the headlines first. All eyes on key Modi-Biden bilateral tonight. Big focus on defense and strategic ties with the United States. President Biden and First Lady Jill host Prime Minister Modi for an intimate dinner. Jill Biden personally inspects the dinner table, gifts Modi antique American book galley and a vintage camera. Prime Minister Modi gifts a 7.5 carat lab-grown green diamond to Jill Biden. Modi presents 10 Hindu gifts for President Biden, gifts as per Hindu rituals for the 80-year-old president. High drama outside the temple in Delhi as protests now erupt over demolition that's just begun near the temple, and that protest now turning ugly. Ajit Pawar reveals larger ambitions in NCP, says the post of leader of opposition now stifling him. In fact, Ajit Pawar wants strong NCP post. All right, let me take you through this protest that's currently underway at a demolition site near a temple. High drama right outside a Delhi temple where protests have erupted. Mandavali area. This is where we see huge protests after a demolition drive has begun near a temple that's turning ugly as devotees fuming over that demolition drive. Demolition of a railing right outside the temple has led to this kind of ruckus amid claims of encroachment on the pavement. In fact, the administration says no part of the temple is touched. It's a railing that's encroaching the area, and therefore that should be brought down. We see that devotees now raising quite a protest as we see many of them out in the streets raising slogans. Women devotees form Hanuman chain to stop that demolition drive from taking place. Jai Shri Ram chants also heard right outside that Shani temple. Mandvali area of Delhi. We see those images coming in as we speak. Protests still continuing with authorities trying to stop them, where many of those women are forming a Hanuman chain of sorts to stop that demolition drive. In fact, the administration, Delhi administration says that this was an encroached area and they attempted at bringing down the railing of the temple. No part of the temple was touched. But nonetheless, devotees fuming over this demolition drive that's aligned with the temple and trying to stop officials from carrying out that demolition. They're now chanting slogans of Jai Shri Ram right outside. These are images coming in from different parts, different corners of that temple where we see people all out, devotees largely, and the public who are condemning this demolition drive women there forming a Hanuman chain to stop them. But yet administration there wanting to continue with bringing down the railing, calling that encroachment of land. In fact, this railing there, they say that is encroaching public public property. It is public property. It's encroached government land, and therefore that railing must be brought down. To which we see this kind of protest all out on the streets of Delhi's Mandwala area. Mandavali area in Delhi, we see different angles, shots that we bring to you from that very point of protest, showing you how people aren't allowing officials to carry on with the demolition drive, many of them holding a Hanuman chain to block off this demolition. These are live visuals even as we speak, Mandwali area of Delhi. Aishwarya Paliwal joining us live for more on that. Aishwarya, take us through what really we're seeing in Mandavali. People are out on the streets stopping this demolition drive, but give us an understanding on the legalities of it. Is it indeed encroachment of land? Has the railing, does it fall on government land?
Well, some part of it definitely does, and let me show you, the large number of people who have gathered here, these people are against the demolition drive. They are saying that just in case parts of temples are demolished, then the adjoining areas should also be demolished. People here in large numbers, wearing the flag and also raising slogans, Nabila, those slogans are being raised here, and now they are saying that they will start moving to the next part. Some part of the temple, obviously, according to the administration, from what we understand at the moment, has been encroachment. But these people here are now saying that because it is temple premises, it cannot be demolished. That's the reason why such large number of people at the moment have gathered here. The sloganeering was taking place, Nabila, just a couple of minutes back. They are now in a wait and watch mode. They will see what the administration does next. Nabila.
Okay, could you tell us, Aishwarya, if who's built this temple? Is it on private property? Give us more understanding on how long this temple has been standing and who's carrying out this demolition drive.
Well, the local people here, the people from the party and also the local leaders here have come out in large numbers. They are now protesting. A lot of youngsters also we see here. The temple has been in the in this area for almost the past 20 years. That's what we understand. The sloganeering now, Nabila, has begun once again. The sloganeering that you can see taking place because and people are now saying that they are against Arvind Kejriwal because the administration of the national capital falls under the chief minister now. That's the reason why we are seeing this sloganeering taking place, Nabila. All of them now angry and saying that just in case the temple is demolished, we did see one part of the temple being done. Now if more area is demolished, then all the people, the locals now saying that they will come on to the streets. We'll also speak with a local leader here. जो मंदिर का जो भाग था उसको कहा जा रहा है कि वो एनक्रोच किया गया था, तो क्या मंदिर का वो भाग एनक्रोच किया गया था?
ये मंदिर का भाग ही तोड़ा है, मंदिर का हिस्सा ही था उसको तोड़ा गया है।
तो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का कहना है कि वो एनक्रोच लैंड,
एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन झूठ बोलता है। पूरे मंदिर तोड़ने की पूरी कार्रवाई थी, जनता ने विरोध किया, इसलिए मंदिर ये तोड़ नहीं पाए। पर जवाबी कार्रवाई में इन्होंने बाहर का जो मंदिर का गेट था, मेन गेट, उसको ये तोड़ के चले गए। मंदिर का बोर्ड इन्होंने उखाड़ दिया।
So very clearly these people now saying that the gate has been demolished, Nabila, and people in large numbers now protesting, coming out and saying that just in case other parts of the temple are being demolished, then everyone, the entire locality will be coming on to the streets and then the protest will take place. Nabila, showing you the visuals of the people.
Could you get us some voices, Aishwarya? If you could get us some voices, let's hear it from them. Definitely not from those boys, but anyone else who's around you, few adults. We see some minors raising slogans. If this is encroached land, then then the ruckus should be contained. We see police officials, who are trying to stop protesters from blocking off this demolition. And in fact, not an inch of that temple is being touched. It's just the railing that will be pulled down because the authorities claim this is encroached. It's encroached land. Now, we see those protesters sitting in dharna with the police now trying to pacify those protesters. The demolition drive itself is stopped. Yeah, go on. Aishwarya, please bring us some voices.
Well, Nabila, we will try and speak with the locals here, but let me tell you what's taking place at the moment. The police personnel there, trying to pacify the people and trying to make sure that the situation does not go out of control. The people here, Nabila, are extremely angry because the gate of the temple has been broken, and they are saying it's not just the temple. Others also, the adjoining buildings, if in case this is what the administration is saying, those buildings should also be demolished. Showing you the visuals, Nabila, of the sloganeering that's taking place against Arvind Kejriwal. The locals here are saying that this has been done at the behest of Arvind Kejriwal, and it's only the temple that is the target of the demolition drive. Nabila.
Right. Arvind Kejriwal, tell us who exactly is carrying out this demolition. Who are the officials? Which zone does this come under? If you could give us some details and clarity on what basis is this demolition drive being carried out. And this should have been expected. It's a religious place, a place of worship. One knows touching a place of worship, you should be mighty prepared with the documents. These officials, we're assuming from the civic body who are carrying out this demolition, should have all the legalities in place. Do we know if this is indeed encroached land? Protesters are claiming this is a lie, but what's coming from the administration?
Well, the administration, Nabila, very clearly maintaining the fact that this has been an encroached land, and this is not the first time that we are seeing something like this taking place in the national capital. The administration over the past many years has been very strict. Even if it's a religious place, even if it's a temple, it cannot be encroached upon. Just to make a temple, public property cannot be encroached upon, and that's the reason why the administration now had reached the temple. But because it's a temple, and as you rightly pointed out, Nabila, if these kind of demolition drives take place, obviously they do lead to a lot of backlash, and that's the reason why a lot of youngsters and the local leaders are now onto the streets here. The sloganeering taking place. Thankfully, Nabila, let me tell you, the situation is under control. We did see a couple of police personnel also speaking with the leaders and trying to make sure that the situation remains under control. Nabila.
All right, Aishwarya, thanks very much for joining us on that. Well, we're going to continue tracking that, but for now, some big news coming in from Telangana. Let's cut across. All right, a private travel bus en route Puducherry from Hyderabad has caught fire. It comes in contact with high-rise tension wires. It's reported that nearly 25 passengers traveling in that bus and the luggage all gutted. But thankfully, we hear that there's no casualties. Thankfully, at least 25 passengers have miraculously escaped from that fire. The private bus caught flames after it came in contact with high-tension wires en route Puducherry. The private travel bus has caught fire at Singarayakonda in Prakasam district. Let me cut across to Apurva joining us on the phone line. Apurva, tell us more on this fire that's caught on a bus, a tourist bus, we believe. Nearly 25 passengers thankfully have escaped.
Well, that's right, Nabila. In fact, this incident took place at Prakasam district there early this morning when the private travels that was en route Puducherry from Hyderabad. It was 25 passengers were on board, and the bus, while traveling in Singarayakonda in Prakasam district, it had come in contact with a high-tension wire, is what we are told. Luckily, according to the police there, we told that all the 25 passengers safely escaped from the travels due to the timely diversion that had been given by the driver of the bus and the private travels there. We're also being informed that unfortunately the luggage of the 25 passengers was stuck in the bus when the bus went up in flames. While the 25 of them miraculously escaped, the entire bus was gutted in the fire, even as firefighters and rescue officials and the police immediately went on the scene and tried to douse the bus that had caught on fire. This incident took place early this morning in Singarayakonda in Prakasam district. This was even as the private travels was en route from Hyderabad and was going towards Puducherry. We're also getting to know that a case has been registered and that the complete details of the bus travels and the driver is being taken down.
All right. Tell us more about these high-tension wires, Apurva, that's been left dangling. One can only imagine if a human came in contact with that, what would have been the outcome. This bus has caught fire just because of those high-tension wires that were just left loose. Is it not the responsibility of authorities to keep them in check?
Well, what we do understand from the police is that, this was due to the negligence of the driver there who had been driving the bus in a wrong direction. That is what we are getting to know. The police are investigating into the angle of negligence on part of the driver as well, because as far as we know from police authorities, it is been noted that the bus was, while traveling in Prakasam district, it was en route Pondicherry there, and we got to know that it was due to the bus driver's negligence. That is one angle that the police are also looking into. The high tension wire, as far as the police do state, it is that it was somewhat dangling low from the cables there, and that is also one of the reasons that they are trying to identify as to why this incident had taken place in the first manner. From the visuals there, you can clearly witness the kind of flames the bus had been engulfed in. Luckily, 25 passengers there who had been saved from what could have been a very horrible accident to take place. But all 25 of them had been saved due to the timely help from the driver there, who had alerted the passengers and asked them to get out of the vehicle right on time. The police are investigating into the high tension wires as to who is to be blamed for them dangling this low from the electricity department, as well as also looking into the negligence angle of the driver there who had been driving the private travels.
All right, thank you very much, Apurva. Thankfully, the 25 on board have been rescued for the moment. They've escaped, but this is really a lot of answers for the administration to give on why those high-tension wires were left dangling unattended. All right, some news coming in from Tamil Nadu. The AIADMK has filed a writ petition before the Madras High Court against Senthil Balaji continuing as minister. On behalf of AIADMK, ex-MP Jayavardhan advocate Inbadurai files a petition before Madras High Court. The AIADMK now moving the Madras High Court on Senthil Balaji. They file a writ petition before Madras High Court against Senthil continuing as minister. He is the power minister in the state, and the fact that he's got to continue despite all these ED investigation on him. The ED has also taken him into custody. He is still, though, receiving medical treatment, and at a time like this, for him to continue as a mantri, AIADMK seeking his removal at the High Court. A plea filed. Pramod joining us on the phone line, our India Today correspondent. Pramod, give us more. Senthil still holds his portfolio, then who exactly is administering that very portfolio in his absence?
Nabila, for now, the portfolios of Senthil Balaji has been transferred to two ministers. The electricity has been transferred to Minister Sangam Tennarasu. And yesterday, he went nearly a 5-hour surgery that is called a beating heart coronary artery bypass surgery. And even now, he continues as the minister in the Tamil Nadu cabinet without holding any portfolios. And this is what AIADMK held the protest against yesterday, and now Jayavardhan has also approached the court. This is occurring at a simultaneous moment when Madras High Court is also hearing the case about the habeas corpus filed by Senthil Balaji's wife, Meghala, where the ED is claiming that the petition is not maintainable. As is being heard by the court, now AIADMK has filed a writ petition seeking that Senthil Balaji should not continue as a minister, even without portfolio, because there are corruption charges against them, which is being investigated by the Enforcement Directorate, Nabila.
Pramod, tell us more on the ED investigation at this point. We believe that he's still receiving treatment. So how far has his health improved, and what next for him? With the ED now investigating this kind of scam, they're waiting for him to come into custody and questioning to begin.
Absolutely, Nabila. Already the Principal Sessions Court of Tamil Nadu awarded 8 days of custody for Senthil Balaji, but that is getting over tomorrow. ED is supposed will argue a case tomorrow at the Principal Sessions Court, where this is going to be about asking for extension of custody, or at least to say that the time period which Senthil Balaji was in the hospital should not be considered as a period of ED custody as well, because that so far ED could not even begin the questioning due to Senthil Balaji's health. Now the hospital has said that as per yesterday's bulletin, Senthil Balaji is hemodynamically stable and being monitored in the post-operative cardiothoracic intensive care, and only the hospital can give a clean sheet based on which Senthil Balaji would be it will be possible for Enforcement Directorate to go ahead and start questioning him or even take him under custody, because till now Senthil Balaji is not under the custody of ED. But today's case is entirely different, where ED is actually fighting in Madras High Court, claiming that the petition filed by Senthil Balaji's wife, Meghala, the habeas corpus petition itself, is not maintainable, where DMK and Senthil Balaji's advocate N.R. Ilango, who is also an MP, is continuously citing various Supreme Court orders since 10:45 a.m., which also includes the case about Sanjay Dutt, the case about Rana Ayub, and he finally claims that the present habeas corpus petition is maintainable due to violation of fundamental rights of the arrested person, and this is what N.R. Ilango is arguing on the DMK's end. ED's Tushar Mehta is appearing for Enforcement Directorate, and their argument is yet to begin. But for now, ADMK is also involved in the case, where they've also filed a writ petition, Nabila.
All right. Thank you very much, Pramod, for joining us on that. All right, stay with us. I'm going to slip into a short break. Coming up on the other side, Prime Minister Modi in the United States, as he is now gifted Joe Biden, the President of the United States, a 7.5-carat lab-grown green diamond to his wife, in fact, to Biden's wife, Jill Biden. Modi also presents at least 10 Hindu gifts for President Biden, as per Hindu rituals. Taking you through those images on the other side of a short break.
Most credible ranking of India's best B schools is back in an all-new avatar, bigger and better than before. Catch the 2023 listings of MBA programs, technology companies, and the top executive courses. Don't miss the 24th edition of the Business Today Best B Schools and HR Summit on 23rd June in New Delhi.
Introducing Apple Vision Pro.
Apple unveiled its hotly anticipated augmented reality headset on Monday, its riskiest and biggest bet since the iPhone debuted more than a decade ago. The Vision Pro poses a direct challenge to Meta's line of mixed and virtual reality devices. And with a price tag that will start at $3,499, the Vision Pro will cost more than 3 times Meta's priciest headset when it launches next year. Apple CEO Tim Cook.
It's the first Apple product you look through and not at. Vision Pro feels familiar, yet it's entirely new. You can see, hear, and interact with digital content just like it's in your physical space.
Apple said that users of the Vision Pro will be able to select content inside the goggles with their eyes, tap their fingers together to click, and gently flick to scroll, while also using a 3-dimensional camera and microphone system to capture videos and pictures that can be viewed in 3D later. In its most striking difference from Meta's headsets, the device also has an exterior display that shows the user's eyes to people in the outside world.
So in the same way that Mac introduced us to personal computing and iPhone introduced us to mobile computing, Apple Vision Pro will introduce us to spatial computing.
The exterior screen goes dark when a user is fully immersed in a virtual world. When a person approaches a user who is in a full virtual mode, the headset will show both the user and the outside person to each other. For work uses, Apple showed how the headset can be used with a trackpad and keyboard to work like a traditional computer with multiple displays. The Vision Pro has 2 hours of use with an external battery, similar to Meta's top-of-the-line Quest Pro mixed reality device. Besides the headset, Apple also displayed a raft of new products and features, including a 15-inch MacBook Air, a powerful chip called M2 Ultra, and improvements to its iOS software and autocorrect feature. Shares of the iPhone maker rose 2% to hit a record high ahead of the launch, but shares ended slightly lower after the announcement.
I want to touch upon another aspect which you are regarded very highly about is during your career and through your private sector tenure, you emphasize the need for gender neutrality in hiring and for promotion of executives in banks. And so many of your proteges or ICICI Bank employees went on to become chairpersons of very large banking corporations. Did that fill you with a lot of happiness and pride that you set it along the way and so many of them actually were, India had so many women bank chairmen over the last 10 or 15 years?
I am very proud and happy about it. But where I quarrel is I did not do anything on that. I just said that, as I was mentioning, I did not differentiate between man and woman in banking. For me, what mattered is talent. What mattered is merit. And if the gender did not come in the way, I removed the firewall between the genders, and that the rest took care of itself. Because the women were really as strong as men, insofar as professional management is concerned. In some respects, they were better than men also. At one stage in ICICI Bank, it was told that I was sitting and Kamath was sitting next to me in the board. The rest were all women who were sitting there. But it was a very pleasant sight. And that's the way in which the gender neutrality will come. I read recently something about some criticism about India, that only 27% of women have employment and the rest are not employed. So when we talk in terms of the demographic dividend, we are not utilizing 73% of our demographic population. So that is not a very good thing to happen. And so we need to remove a lot of barriers which are preventing women to come up in the any organization. It's not only banking, in any organization for that matter. I think the gender neutrality is a must for success of an organization.
No, it's remarkable to hear that you and Mr. Kamath were sitting in the board with surrounded only by women. It's such a remarkable story. But I also want to ask you on the same strain and I hope you'll humor me. Now, did it strike a bitter note when this whole Chanda Kochar episode happened? Because she was a woman who rose to the top, and then that very unfortunate episode happened. What was your reaction when you read about it and heard about it?
I would rather not comment on that because I think still there is what's known as